Hey guys, welcome back to the channel of me. That was a bad intro. I'm trying to come up with something because I know I don't really have intros. I kind of just jumped into it. Anyways, so I've been trying to think of new ways to like spice up the content, get more subscribers, so you guys have something entertaining to see every time I upload. And I've been rewatching some old videos of one of my favorite YouTubers. You guys may know her name is Sharon Cantu or just Sharon. About 2-3 years ago, she did conspiracy theories based off either Disney, cartoons, celebrities, whatever. So I'm like, we do some research of my own and like see if it like lines up. So I did, and I love Disney Channel. That is my favorite thing. I grew up with it. My whole family did. I have friends that did. I grew up with Disney Channel. I loved it. So I did research, and I found nine theories that I wanted to share with you guys. And if you guys like videos like this, where I do theories or whatever, comment down below. Comment down any new content that I can do, because I noticed when I first started, I did mostly music, karaoke, dance, whatever, and it didn't really, after a while, it kind of like stopped getting attention and getting popular. So I'm like, okay, let me come up with something new. So I've done Dharma, I've done other reaction videos. So I thought, let's do something new again today. So without further ado, let's jump into the first one, which is about the infamous Hannah Montana. So there's a lot of theories surrounding the show, and it's just there's an entire dream. Even to the point that the main characters were in a secret government laboratory where ideal dreams with a limited number of scenes situation were certain people's heads. That made no sense. So, other reviewers theorized that Hannah's famous blonde wig had hypnotizing powers, and that no one noticed it was actually just Miley Stewart underneath just the average blonde wig. But our personal theory is that Miley didn't have a normal life at all, and it was all plot created by her father, Robbie Ray Stewart. Robbie Ray, realizing how unlikely it is that a teenager could keep a secret that his daughter is a famous pop star just by her wearing a wig, hired a pair of actors, Miley's best friends Lily and Oliver, back when he first moved to California. A user wrote they agreed to be Miley's friends and give her the illusion of a normal life and allow her to slip up and spill the secret without risking it coming out. So basically, he hired them to let her see what a normal life as a teenager would be, but they already knew, okay, Miley Stewart equals Hannah Montana just under a blonde wig. But the whole thing with the blonde wig having hypnotizing powers, what is up with that? You good? The next one is also a very old, very famous show, and that's Wheel of Zach Cody. I never really watched it as a kid. I remember some scenes like with Mosby, London, Maddie, and obviously the twins. So this one has a ton of theories surrounding it, but there's one in particular that's a little terrifying. Fans have just said that the show has subliminal messages about a secret satanic society called the Illuminati, and in the episode there's that word written on a chalkboard in the background of their school. Why would a school for children have the word Illuminati written on its chalkboard? That's a little creepy. And then the second one, because there's two in this list, is that London Tipton, the Dixie girl who says yay me all the time thinking she deserves everything because she's rich, is a wizard from the world of Harry Potter, which explains why she's always so ditzy and clueless and doesn't know how to use anything in the real world. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, you also never see her parents, but it's a little strange that she's a wizard and has powers, but she doesn't know how to use anything. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but let's move on to number 3. And that is about Wizards of Waverly Place. I still remember watching a little bit of it. Like, I remember that Alex had a boyfriend that was a werewolf, and that's about it. So, anyway, someone put on the website I researched that the use of magic in Wizards of Waverly Place caused that said person to get brain damage, which is why Max Russo, the youngest sibling, takes advantage of using magic regularly and why he was so dumb in the show. While Justin, who barely engaged in using magic, was very smart. I mean, I don't know how magic can really damage your IQ. I kind of get it, but it's a little weird. And then the second theory is that the entire series took place in an alternate universe where Lord Voldemort, I'm sorry, actually won and beat Harry Potter, which also is a little weird, but I guess I don't know. I mean, if they're forbidden to use magic and Voldemort won, it kind of adds up, but it's still a scary thing to think of that Voldemort, his high and mighty, was actually won. I can't. This is making my head hurt, but let's move on to number 4. And that's number 4 is about Lizzie McGuire. I think I didn't watch the show much. I think my older sister watched it more, maybe. I never really watched Lizzie McGuire. I know who she is, but I don't think I really watched that much. The only thing I remember is her little cartoon version of herself that would like be around her. And so this theory, when I read it, I'm like, that's sad. I can't believe Disney Channel let this slide. But the theory is that Lizzie McGuire is showing signs of being schizophrenic, which is a mental disorder that can lead to people hearing voices in their head. And that her best friend, Miranda, was never real. And that her cartoon alter ego was one of the many voices Lizzie heard inside her head. That is one of the theories that made me sad. It's just like, Disney's supposed to be all like bright and happy and energetic, and then they want to throw in a theory like this about a mental disorder. It makes you think about Disney Channel sometimes when you really look at it. But anyways, number 5. And number 5 is about one of my favorite shows. I've watched on Netflix. I've watched it so many times. That is Liv and Maddie. I have never heard this one before, whether it's from Just Sharon's video or people I've spoken to about the show. I have never heard this theory, and I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. And so that Liv Rooney, the famous twin from Liv and Maddie, doesn't exist. How does she not exist? She's right there. She's done songs. She did Space World. She did Sing It Loud, Sing It Loud. How is she not real? How is she not real? So the theory is that she was imagined by their older brother, Joey Rooney. Basically, all the main characters are all terrible Joey, especially Maddie. The only one who isn't bullying Joey or isn't really mean to him was Liv. Liv is Joey's imaginary sister, and that's why her and Maddie have the same looks, even though they're very different, because Joey subconsciously imagines Maddie when he made up a sister. I don't believe this one, because you can't make up a twin that went to LA and Hollywood for 4 years. You can't make it up. Unless she made it up when she returned. I'm sorry, I don't believe this one whatsoever. I don't know who came up with it, but if you're watching this and you're out there, what were you thinking? This is not true. I don't want to believe it. It's why it's a theory. I don't believe it. Number 6. This is another show I love watching so much, and that is Jessie. Also, throwback to Jessie. R.I.P. the man, the descendant star that is Cameron Boyce. R.I.P. He has been gone for I think 2-3 years now, and it breaks my heart. He was amazing in Jessie. He did other shows, I think, on like Disney XD, and he was in Descendants. And every time I think about it, or I watch Descendants, I've watched the Wicked World Shorts, I've watched the movies, the Royal Wedding, and I think that he's not alive anymore. It really breaks my heart. It's like he died so young. They finished season 3, and then he passes. It's really, really, really sad. But anyways, get ready to have your minds blown, because this theory is that Jessie is not the nanny. She's actually the biological mother of some of the adopted children that she's supposed to be nannying for. But she already met the... How can you be the biological mother and then sign up to be their nanny? And wouldn't the kids remember you? Whoever is the one she's potentially their mother for? Because in the show, the only one that is biologically Morgan and Christina Ross's, that's the rich parents that you rarely see in the show, was Emma, who was the oldest. Robbie, Luke, and Zuri, the youngest, were all adopted in different times. Zuri's the youngest, then Robbie, and then Luke, then Robbie, I think. Yeah. So, I don't see how Jessie could be the biological mother. It doesn't add up. So the theory is that Jessie was forced by her father, who was in the military, to give up her children. But because she still wanted to be close to them, the adopted parents agreed to hire her as a nanny. So that means that Morgan and Christina already knew she was the biological mother. But if that's the case, which children or which child? And they never mention, because in the show, her father and her don't talk anymore because he wanted her to join the military. She wanted to pursue her dreams to become an actress. This one I don't believe either, because if you look at Jessie, she's a redhead, she's got dark eyes. None of the other kids really match it. And who could be the father? I'm going to put my own little spin on this theory, then we'll move on to the next one. If the only person who really could kind of make sense, being the father, would be Tony, because they obviously got together and they have a long history, but she didn't meet him until New York. So who's the father? And if that's the case, if it's Tony, the only one who could match that description would be Luke, because him and Tony kind of look alike, except for the freckles. So I don't want to believe this one either because it doesn't really add up. It doesn't really add up because none of the kids look like Jesse. If it's Robbie or Zuri, or from Africa and India, who's the father? There's got to be more to it than that to make me believe it. But let's move on to the next one, which is about Phineas and Ferb. I've never watched the show. I've seen clips of it, but that's it. So basically, most of Phineas and Ferb consists of Candace freaking out and obsessing over the stuff her brothers were doing. But none of it was real. What if none of it was real? There's a theory on the web that Phineas and Ferb was all in her head. I kind of understand it, but then if she can only is the one imagining them, it would make sense why her parents never. She tries to show her mother never sees them doing anything. And two, what about their friends? Are they fake too? Are they all imagining Phineas and Ferb doing stuff even though they're not really doing anything at all? It doesn't add up. And then the second theory is the only characters triangle-shaped heads were Phineas and Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I can never say that name without laughing. Is it possible that scientist is secretly Phineas' dad? What? No. Wait. I'm thinking back from when I watched clips of it. I mean, I don't know. But some of y'all apparently think that it's true, but I'm trying to picture Phineas and Doofenshmirtz. I mean, Sharon had a separate theory, well, kind of. So go check out her video on it, and if you're not subscribed to her or me, go subscribe to both of us. Thanks. But let's move on to the next one. I think it's kind of like the last few. And this one is about That's So Raven. I've been watching the spin-off of the show, like an updated version, which is Raven's Home. I've been watching it with my fiance when I was at his house a few times, so I kind of know what the show is about, but I don't think I really watched That's So Raven, so let's see what the theory says, and let's see if I can be a believer, even though I never watched the show. Let's see. So it says in That's So Raven that Raven's vision, so when she sees the future, it's never explained. Like, why does she get past seeing the future, and how does she do it? There's a mind-blowing theory that says that all the visions are actually in her head. You ready for this? You ready for this? So apparently, it's even suggested that Corey from Corey in the House, another very famous throwback Disney Channel show, was also one of Raven's hallucinations. Isn't Corey also? No, that's somebody else. Never mind. So Corey was one of Raven's hallucinations, and that Raven ended up in a psychiatric hospital. Ouch. It said that Raven imagined a Corey in the house as a way to cope with being in the hospital. That's scary. I mean, no. That's really sad. You people really go with Disney Channel theories that really take innocent Disney Channel shows and make it super dark. I mean, dang. Alright, anyway, let's move on to the next one, which is about another, and this is also the last one, a very famous Disney Channel show. In fact, they actually made a live action movie of it, I think 2 years ago? 3 years ago? One of two. And that is Kim Possible. I found something else shocking. My older brother actually used to watch this show. I never have, right? No, I've just watched clips of it on YouTube, or I've watched it with friends. So basically, a fan points out that you never see Kim working out. She's on Cheer Squad, but she's never doing anything else. She's never in like a gym. She's never doing anything. How can she stay in such good fit, be that skinny, without working out? So the theory is that her parents, who are scientists, she was genetically engineered, and that's why she's so fit. She's very fit from that. And so the comparison I kind of want you guys to look up after this video is over is when you look at Kim, again, she's very skinny, she's fit. Even compared to the other like cheerleaders in the show are also really thin, but they probably do a lot more working out than she does. And then Ron, who's the same age, is very different, has a very different shape than Kim does. It's a little strange, but the only question I have for her parents is why genetically engineer your daughter? Why would you? I mean, I get it so that you can save the world, but shouldn't you, work for it? No? But anyways, if you guys want part 2 of this, or you guys want me to look up a certain person, celebrity, anything, let me know down below, or follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and come subscribe to my YouTube channel on here. With all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like button, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will be hopefully uploading soon, very soon, but this week's going to be a bit busy, okay? I love y'all so much. Bye guys, love you.